Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, we've seen rounds of heavy rain since yesterday across the mountains, and now we have some flash flood warnings. Meteorologist Evan Hatter has the latest as our severe weather alert day continues. Evan.
Well, that's right, Steve. We continue to watch rain falling throughout much of the area so far, and it has been a rather soggy last couple of days around the mountains, finishing up the weekend and heading into the beginning of this work week. Many of us still seeing rainfall totals. Now, the eastern side of the viewing area hasn't seen nearly as much. Not a drop in the bucket yet in Wise, 12/10 of an inch in Jonesville, 3/10 of an inch, Middlesboro, Harlan. But you get up toward the Kentucky River Valley, over 3/4 of an inch Jackson and Hazard. How about an inch to nearly 2 inches as you head out towards Somerset, Lake Cumberland area? These are from our local, these are from the actual reporting sites, but the Kentucky Mesonet sites over the last 48 hours painting a different picture. More than an inch and a half in Jackson, almost 2 inches McKee, inch and a half in Somerset, more than 2 inches Monticello and in Whitley City. So we've been dealing with quite a bit of rainfall as we've gone over the last little bit, even nearly 6/10 of an inch there in Whitesburg. So still dealing with soggy conditions, not necessarily up near Moorhead. They're a little drier right now, but downtown Whitesburg, you see the rain still coming down pretty hard, upper 60s at this moment. How about you factor in the fog where we have the dew points? Visibility is a half a mile. And yes, we are still dealing with some heavy rainfall, especially as you head toward the Kentucky, Tennessee, Virginia lines, but lots of heavy rain as well. We do have that flash flood warning. It's in effect for parts of Bell, Knox, and Whitley counties, mainly Bell County, but also takes in parts of Whitley and Knox counties as well. That runs until 6 o'clock tonight. Everything will be scooting on out of here, so slowly but surely we'll dry things out, but we still have a little bit to go before all is said and done with this. And temperatures out there, well, they haven't been able to move much with all the rain we have. I'll have the very latest on when these move out and when we could see more storms a little bit later on. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. Definitely have a heavy shower over top of us here in Hazard right now. Well, more information is being released about the Uvalde school shooting at Robb Elementary in Texas. New body cam footage depicts a miscommunication between the officers on the scene. Now, we want to warn you that some of you may find this video disturbing. CBS's Lilia Luciano reports.
Oh, shots fired! Get inside! Go, go, go! Take cover, guys. Am I bleeding? Am I bleeding? Am I bleeding?
New body cam footage released by the Uvalde mayor shows the first moments officers arrived at Robb Elementary School.
That's my wife's classroom. He's already in the classroom. He got me, right?
About 4 minutes after the shooter entered rooms 111 and 112, one officer is grazed. School police officer Ruben Ruiz was heard in the background, recognizing his wife's classroom.
Dude, we gotta get in there. We gotta get in there. He just keeps shooting.
But seconds later, confusion and misinformation. In a different body cam video from another officer who heads outside to take cover and alert dispatch, he seems to believe the suspect is inside an office.
He's contained. We got multiple officers inside the building at this time. He believes he's barricaded in one of the offices. Messed up, is still shooting.
Shortly after, the urgency fades and officers are seen waiting and waiting.
What are we doing
looking
here?
for guidance.
What are we doing here?
Some begin to break windows and pull students out of the building.
Yeah, go, 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 go.
By now, we see the first images of the school district's chief of police, Pete Arredondo.
Sir, if you can hear me, please put your firearm down, sir. We don't want anybody else hurt.
Arredondo and other officers try to negotiate with the suspect.
Let me know if there's any kids in there or anything. This could be peaceful.
We hear police dispatch alert officers that a child is calling 911 from inside a classroom.
You have a child on the line.
Hey, what was that?
He is in the room full of victims.
Close to 5 minutes later, Arredondo is seen heading towards a classroom, not where the shooter was, to test keys and appears unable to open it. More minutes tick by with little action appearing to be taken by the officers inside the school, besides trying to talk to the suspect.
Please put your gun down, sir. Please don't hurt anyone else.
And more keys to open the door that we've come to learn was likely already unlocked.
We're testing keys.
There were multiple systemic failures.
On Sunday, a Texas committee found that the chaotic scene was caused by a lack of leadership. The committee released a 77-page report which found that those first responders who went right towards a shooter's classroom within minutes acted appropriately at first. But all officers failed to prioritize saving the lives of innocent victims over their own safety. It also found that the shooter had a problematic history and even earned the nickname school shooter on social media platforms because of violent threats he would make against other users.
If you know there's active shooting, active killing going on, or somebody is dying, the standard is you have to continue to do something to stop that killing.
The report concludes that there were no villains, that nobody besides the shooter acted with ill motive. But it also says that though it's likely most people died within the first few minutes of the shooting, it's plausible other lives could have been saved if police acted sooner. They're waiting for medical evidence to conclude how many. Lilia Luciano, CBS News, Uvalde, Texas.
A suspect in another mass shooting is back in court. Therapy dogs were brought outside the courtroom in Florida today. Last October, Nicholas Cruz pleaded guilty to the murders of 14 students and 3 staff members at Parkland's Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School on February 14th, Valentine's Day, 2018. He also pleaded guilty to 17 counts of attempted murder. The jury will decide if the 23-year-old receives a sentence of life in prison without parole or death by lethal injection. They must be unanimous for Cruz to get the death penalty. If at least one votes for life, that will be Cruz's sentence. Dozens of relatives and local residents attended the funeral of 4-year-old Liza Dimitrieva, who was killed in a Russian missile strike in Ukraine. The girl with Down syndrome died on Thursday after a strike hit the Ukrainian city of Vinnytsia, killing 24 people in total. Her body was found in the debris next to a carriage. Images of her pushing the same carriage posted by her mother on a blog less than 2 hours before the attack quickly went viral. Liza's father, Artrim Dmitriev, traveled for the funeral of his daughter from Kyiv. Her severely injured mother was not able to attend the funeral. She was being kept in an information blackout at a hospital for fear that finding out about her daughter would kill her. A triple shooting in a parking lot left 1 man dead and 2 others hurt in Buckhead, Georgia. The Atlanta Police Department says one of the Buckhead shooting victims has been identified as Ludacris's manager and music executive, Shaka Zulu. Zulu is currently hospitalized. His exact condition is unknown. 2 other men were shot. 1 is dead, and they've been identified as 23-year-old Artez Benton. At this time, no one has been arrested. Back here in eastern Kentucky, the city of Pikeville is suing the parent company for Suddenlink Communications, claiming the business is in violation of its franchise ordinance. A lawsuit filed last week by City Attorney Rusty Davis reports that the television provider failed to meet its end of a 2009 agreement to serve the people of Pikeville. Officials say the company was notified about the concerns in 2020, and a public meeting was hosted to discuss the issue before the city moved forward with the lawsuit.
There are a number of requirements that they have to meet, namely good customer service and providing good quality service. And those are much more specific, but that's the 2 broad topics. And really the commission notified them that we believe they were in default.
The city is seeking liquidation of damages, which is currently at more than $1.2 million, a number that continues to increase each day. Backups have been common on Interstate 75 today, with multiple crashes, including one deadly one. Nathan Kirby with the Corbin Fire Department says Laurel County saw at least 3 crashes on the interstate, some with injuries and some without. He tells us oil and residue from the asphalt rises to the top, making it slicker to drive on, saying drivers should slow down and use caution.
People really underestimate how slick the road really is. If you could get out there while it's raining and you're driving by at 60 miles an hour and you could feel how slick that is, you would definitely look at it in a different way and slow down.
Kirby says you should not use cruise control while driving in the rain, and make sure you are following the car in front of you at a safe distance. A new People's Insurance location opened in Inez in Martin County today. The community and members of the business celebrated the new opening with a ribbon cutting at the newest location. The Inez location was one of 3 ribbon cuttings to happen this afternoon. Casey LaGuire, the Senior Vice President of Sales, says that the 2 other locations in Pikeville and Louisa were also celebrating their openings today.
Today's just a big celebration of new people, new service, new expertise to kind of help us give folks a better client experience.
Employees say they hope this grand opening helps attract more customers to the area. Let's head over to Wall Street now on this Monday. The Dow closes down today more than 216 points to start the new work week. We'll have more financial news in our next half hour. But straight ahead here on First at 4, Europe is still experiencing extreme heat along with dangerous fire and drought conditions.
Plus, showers and storms continue to push through the mountains this evening. The breakdown on when these may come to an end coming up right after this.